Life is full of choices. Some are easy, some are hard, some are simple, some are complex, but all of them matter. They shape who we are and the world around us. What if there was a guide, a lamp to our feet and a light to our path? The Bible, with its timeless wisdom, offers just that, a compass to navigate the complexities of life, especially its ethical dilemmas. It speaks to the depths of the human experience, offering guidance on how to live a life of purpose, meaning, and integrity. But what does the Bible say about ethical decisions? How can its ancient stories provide direction for the choices we face today? Let's explore the profound ethical teachings woven throughout the Scriptures and discover how they can illuminate our paths and empower us to live lives that reflect God's love and grace. One powerful example of ethical living is found in the parable of the Good Samaritan. A man, beaten and left for dead, lay helpless on the roadside. A priest and a Levite, religious leaders of the day, passed by on the other side. Then came a Samaritan, a member of a despised group, who stopped and showed compassion. He bound the man's wounds, took him to an inn, and cared for him. This story challenges us. Who is our neighbor? Are we willing to look beyond social boundaries and offer kindness to those in need, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable? The Good Samaritan reminds us that ethical living requires action, not just words. It calls us to move beyond indifference and embrace compassion as a guiding principle in our interactions with others. The Ten Commandments, given to Moses on Mount Sinai, provide a fundamental ethical framework for individuals and societies alike. These commandments address our relationship with God and with one another. They call us to worship God alone, to honor our parents, to respect life, to be truthful, to abstain from stealing, and to cultivate contentment in our hearts. Though given centuries ago, these principles remain powerfully relevant. They provide a foundation for building just societies and fostering harmonious relationships. They remind us of our obligations to God, to ourselves, and to those around us. The Ten Commandments are not a list of restrictions, but a blueprint for a life of freedom, integrity, and respect for all. Do to others as you would have them do to you. These words, spoken by Jesus, encapsulate a universal ethical principle known as the Golden Rule. It's a simple yet profound concept that transcends cultural and religious boundaries. Imagine a world where everyone lived by this principle, a world where kindness, empathy, and respect guided every interaction. This is the kind of world the Golden Rule invites us to create, one interaction at a time. When we treat others with the same compassion, dignity, and understanding that we desire for ourselves, we contribute to a more just and loving world. Section 5, the fruit of the Spirit, cultivating ethical behavior. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Galatians, describes the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These qualities are not merely aspirational. They are the natural outpouring of a life aligned with God's will. They represent the character transformation that occurs when we surrender our lives to God's guidance. Cultivating these virtues within ourselves is essential for ethical living. They empower us to respond to challenges with grace, to treat others with compassion, and to make choices that reflect God's love and wisdom. As we grow in these fruits of the Spirit, we become more like Christ, reflecting His character to a world in desperate need of His love. Section 6. Facing ethical dilemmas, seeking wisdom and guidance. Life is rarely black and white. We often encounter situations where the right path isn't immediately clear. These ethical dilemmas can be challenging, leaving us feeling lost and uncertain. In such moments, the Bible encourages us to seek wisdom. We can turn to Scripture for guidance, praying for discernment and understanding. We can also seek counsel from trusted spiritual mentors or friends who can offer godly perspectives. Remember, we don't have to navigate these complex situations alone. God promises to provide wisdom generously when we ask for it. He will guide our steps. Section 7. The power of forgiveness. Overcoming ethical transgressions. We all make mistakes. We stumble and fall short of God's ideal. The Bible acknowledges our human frailty and offers a path to restoration through forgiveness. When we wrong others, it's essential to seek their forgiveness and make amends for any harm caused. Equally important is our willingness to forgive those who have wronged us. Holding on to anger and bitterness only harms ourselves and hinders our spiritual growth. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but an act of courage and strength. It liberates us from the chains of resentment and allows healing to begin both within ourselves and in our relationships. Section 8. Living a life of integrity, reflecting God's character. Living ethically means aligning our thoughts, words, and actions with God's truth. It's about being honest in our dealings, treating others with respect, and striving to live in a way that honors God's name. Integrity is not about perfection but about wholeness, being the same person in private that we are in public. It's about making choices that reflect our values even when no one is watching. When we live lives of integrity, we become beacons of light in a world often shrouded in darkness. We demonstrate the transformative power of God's grace and inspire others to seek a higher standard of living. Section 9. Conclusion, embracing an ethical life. The Bible provides a rich tapestry of ethical teachings, offering guidance for navigating life's complexities. From the timeless example of the Good Samaritan to the profound wisdom of the Golden Rule, Scripture illuminates the path to a life of purpose, meaning, and integrity. As we immerse ourselves in its teachings and allow them to shape our hearts and minds, we become more than conquerors through Christ. We discover the joy of living in harmony with God's will and experience the peace that surpasses all understanding. May we embrace the challenge of ethical living, guided by the timeless wisdom of Scripture, and may our lives reflect God's love, grace, and truth to a world in desperate need of His light.